In technology, semiconductor fabrication plants, or Fabs, stand as the transformative force of innovation. Beyond their technical marvels, these Fabs significantly influence job creation and economic growth. Let us delve into the profound impact of these high-tech hubs on job creation and the broader economy. First, let us discuss high-skilled employment opportunities. Semiconductor Fabs attract talented engineers, scientists, and technicians. These professionals work on the cutting edge of technology, from process engineering to quality control. With competitive salaries and advanced training, these jobs are not just careers, they are a pathway to economic vitality for entire communities. Fabs is committed to continuous improvement, investing heavily in training and development. These programs enhance the skills of their workforce, ensuring they stay ahead in a rapidly evolving industry. This focus on education does not just benefit the employees, it elevates the entire talent pool, encouraging local educational institutions to adapt and innovate. The impact of semiconductor fabs extends beyond the plant. Construction and infrastructure projects are the first wave of job creation, requiring specialized skills to build these advanced facilities. Then comes the supply chain and logistics sector, providing the raw materials and equipment necessary for fab operations. Let us remember the local services. The influx of highly skilled workers increases demand for housing, retail, and healthcare. This stimulates job growth in these sectors, creating a ripple effect bolsters the local economy. Semiconductor fabs often serve as the nucleus for research and development. By anchoring R&D activities nearby, fabs foster innovation ecosystems. This proximity accelerates technological advancements and brings innovations to market faster, creating even more high-tech jobs. Fabs also assume a strategic role in national security and economic competitiveness. By creating jobs domestically, they reduce reliance on foreign sources, ensuring a resilient supply chain. This strategic importance often drives government investment and incentives, further fueling job creation and economic development, instilling a sense of national pride and security. In conclusion, the impact of semiconductor fabs on job creation is profound. From high-skilled employment and training programs to the growth of supporting industries and economic multipliers, these high-tech hubs are engines of economic growth and innovation. As we look to the future, the role of fabs in creating jobs and driving progress will only become more critical.